The main purpose of this video is to discuss the condition of this bass. I have been messing with the truss rod a little bit. I did not start messing with the bridge or the saddles or anything like that. Not messing with that yet. Right now I'm just trying to make sure this truss rod is straight. And no pun intended, but I'm trying to make sure that it's okay, because it seems like I've made matters worse by adjusting it. See right here, it sounds fine. What's really fun about playing this bass is just messing around with chords, you know, just doing things like all that stuff is really fun with it. The action, like I said, is so low. I mean, I've had the bass for 22 days now. I keep playing with it because I'm trying to see where it fits into what I do. It really doesn't. When I play just my standard 4-string bass, I feel right at home. But the more and more I play this, I feel at home with this too, because I like to do things that aren't really suitable for bass players to be doing when they're playing. You know, if you're playing by yourself, it's one thing, but when you're playing with a band, you need to kind of keep that root down. What is that bass line? Ah, there it is. Okay, I stand corrected. Root down. I can't believe I'm forgetting this stuff. Anyway, I think it's Jimmy Smith or something like that, but I know that Beastie Boys used that for their song Root Down. Rod, and I also found out that I was doing it wrong. So I was turning it clockwise instead of counterclockwise. So now I've gone back counterclockwise to get it straight. I'm gonna get it there, but the strings really came up off the neck, and it was not playing like your typical Ibanez, and it was buzzing worse than ever. So I know that I'm on the right track now. I just gotta see, there's still this. This is one of the main reasons why I'm such a huge fan of playing the fretless bass unlined. I don't have to deal with these issues with the fretless bass. I get that action just right. Yes, you can get that issue where you've got that neck buzz more, or like fingerboard buzz rather than fret buzz. But so far, I've been pretty lucky with the fretless basses. I mean, the only thing that will happen from time to time is it'll get up a little too high, and when I adjust it or I fix it up, I notice that when I get way up on the frets, because the string is basically just resting on the fingerboard, and that will cause a problem. But other than that, when it comes to playing fretted bass, especially if you're playing in a band and you want to keep the root down, that doesn't mean that you can't hold this bass and just sit up here and stay below the 5th fret, not climb above it, and just... help it though. I have to go above the 5th fret. It's just the way I play. I used to do a lot of things where I would be like, but do you see what I mean about the frets? I have never seen an Ibanez or played an Ibanez that gave issues like that. I have never had an Ibanez do this to me. I still have this old Proline series here, which I've shown you guys. That neck plays perfect. And I have not adjusted that neck in probably 30 years. I haven't touched it. It is still perfect today. I do not adjust it every time the weather changes. I just leave it where it is, and it plays and runs so well. Same thing with my ATK 700 Ibanez bass. That thing, I did adjust the truss rod on that one. I should have left it alone, but I'm gonna get it right now because I'm learning. It's giving me experience that I so desperately need as a musician and as a bass player, because you have to learn how to do these things yourself. You can't always rely on someone else to do it. If you don't do these things and you have an emergency and you need to make adjustments and you can't do it, it could get really ugly. I mean, look, Eddie Van Halen did all of his stuff, you know? I mean, yes, he had techs and all that, but he tinkered around and came up with the Frankenstrat and other guitars like that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on fiddling with it. I'm gonna look at this thing as my project bass where I'm gonna mess around with it. I'm gonna learn everything about it. I know that some of these Ibanez 506 series, I know that they have dual truss rod. This one does not. This one just has this one truss rod adjustment right here. When I purchased it, the neck was pretty flat, pretty straight, and which I kind of put it back to where I had it. And my goal is to keep adjusting it until I get this buzz out. And then when I get most of it out, I'll move to the bridge and the saddles and see what I can do from there. But until next time. Another quick thing I want to mention to you guys is to let you know of a video or video series that I've got coming very soon that's going to cover 30 albums that were very influential to me 30 years ago. All of these albums were released in 1993. As early as February of 1993, we had the release of Sarsippius's Ark, which at the time was a big deal to me, from Infectious Grooves, Jellyfish's Spilt Milk, Quicksand Slip, which I've already put a video out about. I've also put a video out about Undertow turning 30 years old. So I will go back to those for just a moment and mention those. The interesting thing is that Quicksand Slip, Spilt Milk, 311's Music, as well as Dinosaur Jr.'s Where You Been, all came out on the same day in 1993. That was February 9th, 1993. Radiohead came out with Pablo Honey in 1993. These albums were like the soundtrack of my life. PJ Harvey. Fortunately, I got to see a lot of these bands live. Blur with Modern Life is Rubbish. Fishbone's Give a Monkey a Brain and He'll Swear He's the Center of the Universe came out. This is easily their most underrated album, and it meant a lot to me to already be a Fishbone fan when this album dropped, because I wasn't quite into Fishbone when Truth and Soul came out. Just started listening to them when Reality of My Surroundings came out, but I wasn't really into that album like I was into Give a Monkey a Brain. Brad, Shame, I'm going to talk about all of these albums. They did a lot for me. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'll have another video out to you soon.